So, Caitlin, this could have taken weeks, and we got a decision just now. What more do we know?
Right, it's judicial expediency at work here. We are going to see by noon tomorrow a version of that affidavit, the narrative that backed up the search warrant of Mar-a-Lago, everything that would explain the details of the investigation that required FBI to go in and seize all of those boxes of documents from the former president's home. The judge's order says that noon tomorrow is the deadline for the Justice Department to file this. Today, the Justice Department had their own deadline where they were proposing what they wanted to black out in this affidavit to protect their ongoing investigation. And essentially, the judge accepted that. He accepted all of their reasonings, and he even outlined what those reasonings were. Specifically, the Justice Department wants to protect witnesses, law enforcement agents, uncharged parties, so people who could be under investigation, could face charges in the future. Also, the investigation strategy, direction, scope, sources, methods, and finally, grand jury information. So there's a lot of things that the Justice Department wants to protect as they have this ongoing criminal investigation into the handling of federal records, into the handling of potential national defense information, into obstruction of justice. But this is a pretty important and very quick finding from the judge to release a version of this affidavit. We'll have to see tomorrow how blacked out it actually is.
And Caitlin, we now have a copy of this order, and you said that the government has met its burden of showing the reasons for the redactions, but also the judge went on to say that they are redactions that are narrowly tailored here, that they didn't go overboard with blacking out too much.
Right. I mean, I'm really glad you point that out, because narrowly tailored, I mean, the Justice Department did have to show. This is why we went through this whole process. The government had to show to the judge there were specific things and the reasons why those specific things should stay under seal as this investigation continues. Of course, that means that there may not be full pages blacked out. We could see little pieces of this affidavit, but it is entirely possible that we don't learn a lot more than we've already learned already in this. It really is just going to come down to what we see tomorrow.
So basically, just to reiterate, the judge found that the DOJ did make a compelling case to be able to black out the identities of witnesses, law enforcement agents, uncharged parties, as well as the sources and methods and the scope of this investigation. So all of that we can expect to be redacted.
Yes, we definitely can expect all of that to be redacted. And the Justice Department has been very clear in court throughout these proceedings where there have been discussions about how much can be transparent here. The argument for transparency has been that this is a historic search. It's unprecedented. And there really is a public interest to know exactly what we can know at this point in the investigation. But the Justice Department has been so clear in saying they want to protect a lot of things, sources and methods, and sources is a huge part of this. That is witnesses, people that they have spoken to who potentially may be identifiable based on what they told investigators to allow for this search to happen. They want to protect those witnesses. They also want to make sure that they protect people who they may need information from in the future if they were to charge a case, if they have more to investigate. And so protection of witnesses, the other reason why that's so important in this is that this is an obstruction of justice investigation as well as an investigation into the handling of federal records. And so obstruction of justice, you want to make sure that people are protected if they are somehow becoming part of your investigation.
Yeah, certainly. Caitlin, with the exception of the announcement from the Attorney General of the filing to unseal the search warrant and the property receipt, we've not heard from the DOJ on camera on this. Should we expect that there will be more than this filing, that there will be the Attorney General coming back to say anything?
I guess we could never really know until there would be an announcement itself. But in the way that this Justice Department works, what they have said so far about this is that they are going to speak through court filings. Attorney General Garland has said that himself when he made that public statement before. And that would be the very likely way forward with this. We do have a court filing. The Justice Department knows exactly that we will be watching. They know where to put the court filing. And so it is very unlikely. Even in some of the January 6th most high-profile cases, the seditious conspiracy charges, we never really even saw Attorney General Garland or others who were the top prosecutors come out and speak in front of the camera. And so in an ongoing criminal investigation, it's very, very unlikely for them to do that. But, you know, you never know.